Let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2. I was doing the thing where you don't say one because sometimes because after I say one, you start too soon, and I had to edit, and it's really hard. I was doing the thing.
I didn't see it because of the computer.
I mouthed the word one, and then I pointed at you.
I didn't see it because of the computer.
Just start now.
What you say?
I told you that it's time to start the show.
That you only meant well.
Yeah, the show's gonna do well.
Of course you did. What you say?
I said let's go.
That it's all for the best.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be like the best podcast.
What you say?
God, do I have to keep repeating myself?
Just what we need. You decided this.
Hold up, I
What
thought we
you
both
say?
decided to do this.
What did she say?
I said let's start the show.
Hey everyone, welcome to What You Say, an OC podcast. My name is Elise Daly.
And I'm Scott Daly.
And together,
We're
ridiculous.
What? We're the Dailies.
The Ridiculous Dailies.
The Ridiculous Dailies.
Yes.
This is the podcast where each and every week my wife Elise and I go through the hit 2000s teen drama The OC episode by episode. This week on the show we are covering season 2 episode 14 titled The Rainy Day Women.
That's right, Scott. It's one of my favorite episodes. I'm so excited, yet I'm also upset, and I'll go over why I'm upset later. It's part of my thorn.
Okay.
I'm not going to get into it now.
No,
but Scott,
it feels like we're going to get into it now, but
you know, I really wish it was raining right here, right now.
in Texas, yeah.
Yes.
It's hot.
I think if there's like a 10% chance tonight or tomorrow night, one of the two. But
Yes,
right now,
it says 10% chance of rain.
is it tonight?
Yeah.
I was out in the sun all day.
Here's the problem is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
98, 99.
No, 98, 100, 100, 100.
Oh, we
no
finally
clouds,
hit the triple.
All sunshine. No rain.
Have you ever thought you could be a meteorologist?
No.
You know, I thought meteorology could be kind of fun.
It's a lot of work.
I know it's a lot of work. There's a lot of math that goes into meteorology.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
pretty
a lot
good
of
at
math
math.
and science, yeah.
And I like both of those things. And I like standing in front of a TV screen.
I really enjoyed that movie, The Weatherman, starring Nick Cage. It's a good movie.
I don't think I saw that.
It's pretty sad.
Because you know Nick Cage is
Because
in
you
it.
hate Nick Cage,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, but, you know who my favorite meteorologist is?
Bow tie guy.
It is
Frinfrock.
Greg Fields. Who's
Oh.
Frinfrock?
Frinfrock was the weather guy, I think, when I was growing up. There
Oh.
were two weather guys on the two local stations we had. One of them always
Greg.
wore a bow tie, and we called him Bow Tie Guy. And then there was the other one, I think he had a mustache, and we called him Frinfrock.
I think that's still him.
Frinfrock. Am I making this up?
Yeah, you should just look up Greg Fields.
Weatherman. David Frinfrock. I think
Was this not in Texas? It couldn't have been Texas.
after 42 years of weather forecasts, NBC5's David Frinfrock steps down as chief meteorologist.
What an unfortunate last name.
Frinfrock. I remembered it.
Well, with a name like that, you can't forget.
Frinfrock.
Which reminds me, I was reading trivia because this is the 17th year anniversary of our show, The OC.
The 17th. That's not a.
E-News did a thing and they said it was
You
the
celebrate
17th.
the 17th year?
I don't know. E-News needed
We're gonna
another
throw up.
clickbait target, and you know what? I clicked.
You did.
But you know what the Cohen's original name was going to be in the show?
The Frinfrocks.
The Needlemans.
The Needlemans.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Cohen's,
Cohen's
better.
is much classier.
Classier.
Yeah.
Needleman.
Yeah.
Like
Scott-
like the Spidermans. What if it was Seth Spiderman? That would have made this episode like.
That would have, but no one's last name is Spider-Man.
I beg to differ. Have you met Peter Spiderman?
No. I've met Peter Parker.
Why don't we move on with the show?
Okay, Scott, we're going to talk about the Rosies and Thornies. This is a part of the podcast where you and I look back on the week. We talk about the good, the bad, the Rosies, the Thornies, and we're going to start, Scott, with your bad. What was your thorn this week?
My thorn this week was that my favorite website is gone. Well, I mean, technically,
You mean the Doof website is gone?
no.
Oh,
You can't
okay.
list your website as your favorite website. That
I
comes
mean, you
off as
can.
conceited.
You can't.
My favorite website is a website called birthmoviesdeath.com. It was originally a website called badassdigest.com. And actually, it's the website that really got me into, thinking about film and thinking about film criticism as a thing that I wanted to do, because I was spending a lot of time there and I was reading everything that was written, and I was spending a lot of time in the comments talking about the articles. And it was really the thing that really got me into film criticism as a thing, not just like a thing I did on the side, or watched the Ebert and Siskel show when I was a kid. It was like what internet criticism had become 8-10 years ago. That's what really got me into it. It's been an interesting ride with this website. They had a bunch of controversies with Alamo Drafthouse. Eventually, Alamo Drafthouse spun it off, and it was bought up by a company called Cinestate, which is actually a Dallas-based company. And then Cinestate was in the middle of a bunch of controversy with some of the producers that they worked on some of their movies. Because Cinestate was a production company. They produced movies. They also ran the website. They also produced the Fangoria magazine that I have. Basically, all this stuff happened, and the editors of both Fangoria magazine and of Birth Movies Death basically told the owners of the company that you guys need to show us that you're going to work to fix the things that you've done wrong. I'm not going to get into that here. You can look it up if you want. Just search Cinestate controversy and you'll see it all. Or we're going to leave. And basically it was decided that both Fangoria magazine and Birth Movies Death are currently being shopped around to be sold to other people. And that basically means that as of right now, it's been a couple months since that happened. So they're both just kind of dead.
Crazy.
And this is a website that I had, spent
go there
every day.
Multiple
times per day. And the last article came out on June 5th. So yeah, it's been over 2 months now. Yeah, it's, I think I was thinking about it because I was looking for what my thorn would be this week. And I was just, sometimes when I'm wondering what my thorn is and I'm having trouble coming up with stuff in my personal life, I start perusing the trades and going to the Hollywood Reporter, going to IndieWire, going to all the film websites, seeing, is there some news out there that pissed me off? And I went to Birth Movies Death as I was doing that, and I was like, oh yeah, there's nothing there anymore. So yeah, my favorite website is dead unless someone buys it and
Lazarus.
It. But even if someone buys it and relaunches it, the current editor and editor-in-chief have already both moved on to different things. Or at least,
you know what? They need a fresh start. They need something new, and it'll be good.
Yeah, this whole thing is this whole pandemic has been very hard on the film industry. It's been very hard on the film criticism industry. Most of those people are already working for commission. They're freelance people working on basically article by article getting money in. So it's been very difficult on those people, and it's just really sad to see. So that's my thorn. Birth Movies Death, my favorite film website besides my own, is gone. Unless I can come up with a few $100,000 and I'll just buy it myself.
Oh, that would be cool.
And then relaunch it and bring back the team. Say, you guys do what you want. I don't know how to run any of this stuff, but just go. So that's my thorn. What about you? What's your thorn?
So, if you listened last week, I went back to work actually quite a while ago, but first time really coming into the office much was last week. And it's just when you've been working from home and really working, I do work quite a lot around the clock. Scott might call me a workaholic. But when you fall out of that routine and then you're trying to get back into the routine, it's just really hard. And, I'd been getting to sleep a lot later because I wasn't going to have to wake up and necessarily make myself over as much as I do whenever I guess I go out in public into the building with other people. And so it's hard getting back into that routine and losing sleep again. And the circles were gone underneath the eyes for a while, and now they're coming back. And it's been rough.
I know.
That's it.
I know. You're doing great, though, Elise. You're really doing
Thanks.
great.
I'm trying. I
You're
just
kicking
fall
ass.
asleep at 7:00.
Yeah, you go to
on
bed
the
a little
couch.
earlier. But you're getting up, you're working out, you're kicking ass.
I didn't this morning.
That's okay.
But I still closed my ring because
you were rushing
I
around.
was running around all day. That was part of the reason. I was like, I'm going to exhaust myself if I work out and then I go run around all day around the school trying to get these bags out. So
You're kicking ass.
thanks.
Kicking ass.
I actually kind of hurt my shoulder. I might need you to work on it a little bit.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry.
I'm not a trained professional in that.
I know, but you're trained enough to deal with me.
Well, Elise, why don't we focus on the good stuff? Enough of that bad
let's do
stuff.
that.
Enough
I
of
like
that
the good.
bad. What's good in your life? What was your rose for this week?
Well, back to school, my family always likes to do a little back to school celebration with me. So we went over and had dinner with them.
Mm-hmm.
And that was nice.
Yeah.
They made some grilled chicken, which was delicious.
They had a cheese fountain.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I love your family so much. Your family is wonderful. They always go over the top for everything. Like, honestly, what we did is we just hadn't seen them in a while. I actually didn't even realize this was going to be a back to school thing.
Oh, yeah.
I just knew we hadn't seen them in a while, and we were like, well, let's just go hang out with them because we hadn't seen them in a few weeks. And then it turned into a whole thing.
With a nacho
There
cheese
was
fountain.
A nacho cheese
Why not?
fountain. It was good cheese.
The grill caught on fire.
Grill was just on fire. I still don't know what happened there. The grill
Who
was
knows?
on fire.
Nobody does, even the chickens.
The only people that like going over to your parents' house more than you is our dogs.
Oh, yeah, they love it.
Ghost loves your parents' house more than our house.
More than anything.
Oh my god. She has a spot in the backyard. It's like the perfect spot for her because it's like shaded just about 24 hours a day. But it gives her like full view because your parents' fence is like a wrought iron fence.
Yeah,
So,
we're not allowed to have anything except wrought iron.
So she can see through the entire fence, and so she just posts up in this corner in the shade and can just see for miles in every direction, and she loves it. She was out there for hours.
The
and she would not
entire
come
time
in.
that we were there.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
that dog loves that house.
Yeah.
She loves it.
It's the yard. It's not it's the yard. She loves the yard.
Yeah.
Scott, I don't understand your rose.
You don't understand my rose?
No. Did you watch that recently?
Fantasia?
Yeah.
No.
Why is it your rose? Is it coming back?
No.
Okay, well then explain.
Fantasia is a film festival based in Montreal, Canada.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the Disney movie Fantasia.
No, I'm talking about Fantasia Fest.
I didn't realize that was the name of that movie festival. Okay, do continue. I know what your rose is. I'm in support of this.
Thank you. My rose, and if you've listened to the Doofcast, I've already talked about this. I talked about it last week because I was so excited. But a couple weeks ago, my good friend Adrian, who's been on some podcasts with me, sent me a message and was like, hey, Fantasia, the film festival in Canada, is doing a all digital festival this year, but because of legal stuff, they have to region lock all the streaming of the movies to Canada only, which basically means that they're going to be hurting because the only people that can attend this festival, even digitally, are Canadians. So one of the things they wanted to do is really push press for this festival because they're not going to have as many attendees like buying digital badges and all this stuff. They really wanted to push press. And so they were opening up their press pool to smaller outfits that normally would be granted press access. And so my friend who runs his own website, that's boomhowdy.com. You should check it out if you like movie news and stuff. He does a lot of movie news and blogging and stuff like that. He's like, hey, you should apply because they are talking about how they want audio people, not just writing. And I was like, yeah, that's a great idea. So I applied to get accredited as press for this festival. And I found out last week that I got in.
Yay!
So this is the first festival that we, Doof Media, are going to be covering as official formal press. I have covered festivals in the past. I have covered Fantastic Fest, the Austin Genre Film Festival that I went to every year that is canceled this year because of
Are you going to have
coronavirus.
me watch the movies with you so we can both talk about them together?
Actually, I said specifically on the list that I'm not allowed to share the links with anyone but myself. So, I mean, you can probably be.
Well, then who are you going to talk to?
I have some other friends that are also attending the festival as press that we're going to get on the microphone and talk about it. I've already told you this. You knew
I don't
this.
remember.
But no, I'm very excited because it's like us being official and us being press. Like I've long like been uncomfortable with calling myself a critic because it just feels like that's not what we do. But also it is kind of what we do. It just makes me feel uncomfortable. But this is like, I am press now. I can say I am press, and I went to this festival, and it's a big deal because if we do this well, this gets me in the door of other festivals. If I can show another festival, here's the coverage we did for this festival. Look how we did it. Don't you want this for yours? Maybe that'll help us in the future. So I am very excited about this. It's really cool. It's definitely the best thing that happened to me in the past week. And if you are listening, I hope you will check out doofmedia.com as we kind of roll out our coverage there. The festival starts in 10 days on the 20th of August and runs until the 2nd of September. So we're probably going to do an episode of the Doofcast finishing off once the festival is done, where I'll talk about all our favorite stuff. But I want to write some too. I do want to do some articles, some talking about some of the films and stuff like that. So we'll be doing that. So check out doofmedia.com and look, it'll say Fantasia in the headline. And it will not be the Disney musical, Elise. It will be the festival.
I mean, if it was, I wouldn't have been disappointed. I just would have been sad that you watched it without me.
All right, so that is it for our Rosies and Thornies.
So I would have been disappointed.
I would never watch Fantasia without you.
What about Fantasia 2000?
I would watch that without you.
But I like that one more.
What?
It's been a long time. I liked the Blue Rhapsody one a lot.
What?
I liked it.
At least let's talk about the OC.
Okay, let's do it. The episode we were talking about this week is The Rainy Day Women, the 14th episode of Season 2 of the OC, written by series creator Josh Schwartz and directed by Michael Fresco. It aired on February 24th, 2005. Scott, hit me with that overview.
On the eve of Summer's departure to Italy with Zach, Seth desperately tries one last time to win her back. Also, Lindsay takes a DNA test proving once and for all that Caleb is indeed her father. And Marissa comes clean to her mom about her new girlfriend. Also, surprise, Rebecca's not gone, and Sandy gets one last chance to totally fuck up his marriage. But he doesn't.
I forgot that Rebecca came back. I shouldn't have made that my rose last week.
Well, it's okay.
I can't remember every detail.
You threw me for a loop.
You know, it's just hard. My brain can only fit so much, and there's a lot going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, but overall, Scott.
Yeah, talk to me about what you thought of this episode. You were very excited last week.
Love this episode. You want to know why I love this episode, Scott?
Why?
Because things happen in this episode.
God, your voice went up like 10 decibels.
Well, that was
there.
because I was excited because things actually happened. You're like, Seth, Zach, Summer, triangle, what's she going to do? Oh, you know what? Something happens.
You know what
and
my
then you're
favorite-
like, you know what? Lindsay, Ryan, back and forth. What's going to happen? Oh, wait, Scott, something happens. And then
Lindsay is dead.
you're like, Rebecca, Sandy, Kirsten, all this stuff going on. How's it going to be resolved? You know what? We don't know how it's going to be resolved, but something happens. And it was like
Rebecca,
they kept
dead.
on going. They kept on trying. And finally, things are going to start rolling. And
know
it
why?
makes me happy.
You know why?
What?
Because it's Sweeps Week, baby!
Is that what this was?
I don't know for sure, but this has all the hallmarks of a Sweeps Week episode. The fact that it was written by series creator Josh Schwartz.
That's true.
Michael Fresco is one of the big EPs of the show. He does a lot of directing, so they brought in the big guns for this one. Of course, this is the Seth and Summer Get Back Together episode. That is a huge deal that they're going to want to say for Sweeps. I don't know if Sweeps as a concept exists anymore. I don't think it does.
We had talked about it before, I
Yeah.
think when it was season 1 with this, but
Yeah.
I don't think so. I mean, there's not enough, I feel like, regular television that's
Yeah.
coming out.
Well, I mean, the point of Sweeps was it was like a set.
Scott,
What?
we didn't watch the Titan games.
What are you talking about?
We gotta watch the. Oh no, Titan games is on
It's
tonight.
Monday.
My brain. We'll watch
It's just
it
in
tomorrow.
the middle of the podcast, just dropping. This is our to-do list for the rest of the week. Would you like me to read off the grocery list for tomorrow's groceries as well?
No, I don't need that. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. And I think my favorite part of this episode was the fact that they kind of drew attention to the fact that they've been stringing everything along for the past 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Summer has a line that says something like,
Cohen, are we gonna do this again? Or did you, actually come here to advance the plot?
I kind of hope was Josh Schwartz being snarky to all the other writers who weren't doing enough.
Well, I mean, that's not.
Maybe it's true.
That's
Maybe
not.
it's not.
That's not how writers' rooms really work.
I think it is. And I enjoyed it. Thank you, Josh Schwartz.
It's good. I think they were just acknowledging, they were being cute and acknowledging the fact that they've really let these things stretch out over multiple weeks.
Yeah, they did.
And finally, you're right, they all come to a head. I remember it was like a month ago we were talking about these 4 storylines that they started 4 episodes ago, and they've carried all 4 of these storylines out. And it seems like, I mean, we'll see. Some
will be coming to a conclusion. Some will have their own little branch come off, and you know what? It's gonna be good.
You know what my favorite part of this episode was, though?
What?
The music was so good in this episode. I mean, the music is
Is this your Rosie?
No.
Well, then it's not your favorite part because it's not your Rosie.
I'm still speaking overall, baby. I'm still going on. I'm still in that overall segment.
Fine.
The music is always good in this show, but for whatever reason in this episode, I think because it's Sweeps Week, they threw some money down.
Week.
They threw some money down and they paid for some songs, and it's all really good music from top to bottom. You got some Boys to Men in there. You got some other bands that I don't remember their name of, but I remembered the songs and I liked them. Just really good all around. Just really good all around music.
It was
also
very good.
this photo I've taken.
Yes, you took a really good photo of that Seth Cohen.
So, to set the stage, there is a moment where Summer is listening to Boys to Men in her bedroom, and she has her cell phone open, which is a 2004 era flip phone. And she's looking longingly at a picture on her phone, and it's a picture of Seth Cohen with his phone number on it. Like she's debating whether or not she wants to call him or not. But it's just like the most like
he would not have posed for that picture. And like you can see it looks like the staircase is in the background, or a staircase is in the background. And I mean, he's just got this smirk on his face.
It's so stupid. It's not like a picture you would ever like look at longingly. Like if I was missing you, I would like the picture I would look at if I was like I was really missing you would not be this like blah normal picture.
What picture would you look at if you were missing me? Just curious.
I don't know. My old standby was the one I have set as your person in my phone. But that's
so kind of like Summer. Maybe this was her old standby.
No, but it's actually a cute photo of you.
Maybe she thought this was cute of him.
It's the photo of you that made me message you. And now it's like actually like you're like 5-6 years older than you were in this photo. So I probably should change it.
You know.
Because you don't really look the same anymore.
No, I don't.
You look better.
Thank you.
You do.
It's very nice of you to say.
You look like a little... You look so young in that. We were so young back then.
Oh,
I wasn't even 30
days.
yet. Oh, wow.
What was it? 25? Did I meet you at 25?
You turned
24.
25. After you were 24 when we met. You were 24 and I was 29. Yes. 8. 28. We're not 5 years apart, are we?
No, we're 4.
Yeah.
So I was 25 and you were 29 because you turned 30 that year.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Whatever. It's not important. Let's move on
to... no, you're right.
I thought I was right.
No, I'm right.
This is 25. Marriage. This is marriage. You're right. No, wait. I'm right. You're wrong. Yes. No. Dates. Marriage.
I don't remember.
Remember that tweet I saw that marriage is just...
Trying to pick dinner.
Marriage is just trying to pick dinner.
Yeah. Thank you for picking dinner every night for this week.
That's all it is. It's just arguing about what do you want to eat for dinner tonight until you're dead.
Yeah.
Hooray. Hey, Elise, let's talk about our best and worst parts of this episode. Elise, what is your thorn of this episode?
All week, I told you, don't look at HBO. Don't do any research because anything that you do is going to totally ruin this. And it's my favorite episode and one of my favorite parts. And it'll totally be a big, huge spoiler. And I don't want you to have any clues because you know nothing about this show. And you knew that there was the upside down Spider-Man kiss, and it frustrated me. And I tried to lie throughout it and be like, no, it's a 2-parter. It's going to happen the next one, because I was so upset that you knew about it. And it's just really frustrating to me when I'm trying to watch this show with someone for the first time and see all of these fun things and see how they react. And it was just totally spoiled because there's one part that you thought was the most iconic, and that's not even the big thing. It's not even the like, wow, oh my gosh, I can't believe they did that moment that everyone talks about. And for some reason you have never found out about. And it's this. And it was a thing that I was excited about. And it just really frustrated me.
I just like look at the audio file. Look at how much louder you got during that rant. That was amazing.
It's because I was mad.
I believe my wife, love of my life,
Yes.
angel of my morning. I believe
You're not awake in the morning when I'm there.
I am awake.
No, you're not.
Don't take my compliment and turn it against me.
Okay, thank you.
I believe if you go back to our very first episode
yeah.
of Whatcha, the OC
Okay.
podcast,
Okay.
you will hear me say that while I know very little about this show, there are certain moments that I know about.
What other moments do you know about? Other than the what you say moment.
This.
Those are the only two things you know.
I watched this episode with my friends. I distinctly remember. I didn't remember anything else that was happening in the episode, but I remember Seth Cohen falling off a roof, hanging upside down, and Summer coming up and kissing him with the Spider-Man kiss. I remember that. I watched that in college.
Well, you know what?
What?
That's not the biggest twist of the series.
Cool. I'm glad. Well, it's not a twist. It just happens.
That's not the biggest surprise of the series.
We're going to talk more about that upside down kiss a little bit
Fine.
because surprise, surprise, that's my rose. But first, we have to get to.
No spoilers here. What's your thorn, Scott? Is it me?
I mean, right now it's kind of you.
Okay.
No, honestly, I don't have a lot of bad things to say about this episode.
Yeah, that's why I had to pick you, not having that, because I couldn't have picked anything.
Yeah, I mean, even the stuff that like has been my thorn in the past, like the Lindsay stuff, I think is made interesting because it comes to an end. I think it's kind of drawn out in the episode, like the back and forth. I will say it's like the back and forth of like, oh, Lindsay, she's not going to get the DNA test. She's going to move to Chicago. And then he convinces her to get the DNA test. And then she gets a DNA test. And then actually...
She's still moving to Chicago.
Yeah, Caleb is her father, but she's still going to move to Chicago. So that was very much an encapsulation of their entire relationship, which is like the wait, what? I think... Here's my thorn. Lindsay playing the oboe. So there's this scene, like
You're in the other room and you're like, wait, guys, what's going on?
well,
And I was like, Lindsay's playing the oboe. And
yeah,
it's
I was
classic Lindsay.
well because like this is an episode so filled with good music.
Yeah, Lindsay's oboe playing.
No, it's so filled with good music. There's a lot of sad music everywhere, and then suddenly, the sad music that is being played is diegetic. And it's Lindsay playing her oboe sadly. While her front door is being knocked on because she thinks it's Caleb coming to bother her, but it's actually Ryan coming to see her.
Coming to bother her.
Yes. But I mean, like everything else, like the Alex and Marissa stuff was good. Although I see now where it's going. I see where
You saw it last week,
Yeah.
Scott. We talked about that writing.
But they moved in. They moved in together this time.
Yeah.
And the end of the episode is Alex saying to Marissa, "Oh, by the way, could you take the trash out? It's
Yeah,
Trash
Marissa
day.
taking trash out.
tomorrow's trash day, and rent's due on the first day of the month." And Marissa is like, "What?
Yeah.
Rent?
Yeah.
Paying money to people?
It's a good thing I got my mom.
Oh wait, no, I just moved out
just
of the
left.
house."
Yeah.
But I mean, and I will say, like, both of the old women in the show, both Julie and Kirsten, reacting to Marissa's relationship with a woman with, "It's just a phase."
Well, I'll see your fugitive former flame and raise you a lesbian daughter. Marissa? Well, I'm sure it's just a phase. It was for me.
It's just very early 2000s, right? Like, I guess and like because the show doesn't like call them out on that language at all, right? Like it's just like they both say it. Even like Julie is clearly the villain in this whole thing, and so it's fine. It's fine for her to say. But like Kirsten says the same thing. It's like, oh, I'm sure it's just a phase. Also, there's the weird and I can't say that I was innocent of this when I was a teenager in high school, but there's the weird like Ryan and Seth both find out about the relationship between Alex and Marissa, and they are both like super creepy about it.
Our exes are dating each other now. Marissa and Alex no longer welcome in the red states. That I wouldn't have predicted.
Seth is very creepy.
It was a little bit of too long of a camera pause and with them pondering. It was too much.
Yeah. It's not a good look.
No.
It's, like, I get it. I was a teenage boy once too, but that was not a good thing, right? Like I was
You've outgrown that.
Yes. And we probably shouldn't put that in our TV. Yeah.
Well, Scott, your thorn kind of builds on to my rose. You didn't have anything bad to say because you liked it all. I have too many good things to say because I liked it all.
Okay.
For example, love Seth and Summer back together. Love me the Seth and Summer. Zach, even though he is no longer with Summer, took it like the perfect boyfriend type of champ that he could.
What a good dude.
He was like, you know what? I was really betting you weren't even going to make it through security. So he was happy. You know, you reminded me of one of the things that I really thought about putting as my rose because I loved the Julie Cooper, Kirsten having some whiskey and cigars. That just cracked me up. I forgot about that. And that really was a highlight of the episode.
Oh, really?
And then you have, Ryan and Lindsay finally done. Get rid of the character that I'm not too super thrilled about. And you see Marissa come to the realization of what her life is going to come,
She's going to break that poor Alex's heart.
I know. It was just like too many good things. Too many good things to pick from Scott. You
talked about how Sandy and Rebecca finally
and Sandy and Rebecca. And then he, crossed the
Rubicon.
The river, the washed out road, and came home on a bus with Kirsten waiting for him with an umbrella. And you know what? You can't even stop something that never got going, Scott.
His line right there is
it was so good. It was all so good.
Let me tell you a little something about this Rebecca woman.
Yeah.
Let me tell you a little something about her.
Can you stop pointing your finger at me?
She is sneaky. She is.
Did
you see? They have their little. So what happens is Rebecca calls Sandy, and for one last time, she's like, "I was gonna leave, but I couldn't leave without saying goodbye." And so he goes to see her because he can't stop.
So really, you just say goodbye over the phone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah, bye. So he goes to see her, and then on their way back, the road is washed out, and so Rebecca and Sandy end up having to spend the night in a seedy motel room, and
she tries to put the moves on him, Scott.
Here we are, all alone. No one knows where we are. It's like nothing else exists. Tomorrow we head back to reality, but for now, it's just us.
She's got her little dessert wine. He's got his little ding-dongs, and I mean the dessert, not a penis. And
cheese sticks.
And cheese sticks, again. Not a penis metaphor, literal cheese sticks. But she starts rubbing his hair and brushing it over his ear and Sandy's like, no.
If you had to pick,
no,
cheese sticks or ding dongs?
Good question. I don't know. I used to like a ding dong back in my day. Mm-hmm. I would devour a ding dong. My parents used to buy that. That's Hostess, right? Or it was Hostess. I don't know if it is anymore. The cupcakes. They would buy Yodels. You remember
Never
Yodels?
had Yodels.
My dad loved the Devil Dogs. My dad was a big fan of the Devil Dogs.
I don't know the Devil Dogs.
Ding dongs were probably my least favorite. The coffee cake, the Hostess coffee cake.
I liked oatmeal cream pies.
Shit. We never really. That's Little Debbie. That's a whole.
I liked oatmeal cream pies. We would get the cupcake things sometimes.
I think devil dogs were a very northeastern type of thing. Because I remember we moved down here, my dad had trouble finding them first.
And you know what? I think Hostess is everywhere, but I feel like Little Debbie is more southern.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Definitely. So I feel like I grew up with more Little Debbie. The pecan swirls.
Nah, I didn't fuck with that. Nah.
Pecan swirls.
Man, we've gone totally off.
Or you know what?
course here.
Some people say pecan. Pecan swirls. Oh, those were delicious. I'd unroll them and eat them like a cinnamon roll layer by layer.
Man, those devil dogs. Devil dogs are so good. It's
Maybe
basically-
we'll have to get
it's
some pecan swirls.
Maybe we'll have to get some devil dogs.
Okay. You're going to the store tomorrow.
It's basically
Surprise me with a Little Debbie treat.
it's basically 2 devil's food cakes with cream in between them. That's what a devil dog is.
Okay.
It's good. It's very dry.
Okay.
I remember eating one and I would put too much in my mouth and they'd be like,
Super processed. Super gross.
yes, it's so bad for you. It's so bad for you.
Okay, Scott, tell me, you've already alluded to what your rose is, but
My rose is, of course, the upside down spider kiss. They recreated the scene from Spider-Man, and they did it in a way that's kind of like, so Seth calls Summer one last time, and like he leaves her this very actually nice message where he's like have a good time, please. I'm sorry. I will miss you. And then he does Captain Oates talks on the phone as well. It's adorable. And then he decides he's just gonna watch. You know what he's gonna watch on TV? Do you know what he's gonna watch?
No.
He's going to watch the reality show spinoff of The Valley, which is them taking shots at Laguna Beach, the real Orange County, which I guess had started by this point.
yeah, it had.
Basically, Laguna Beach is a reality TV show that started, I guess,
Because
around
of the
now.
OC.
Yeah, because of the popularity of the OC, and it followed some actual real rich people that lived in Orange County. Some of you probably know who they are: Elsie, Heidi. What's the dude's name that she dated? It starts with an S.
Adriana.
Yeah,
I don't
know.
I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't.
That
remember.
Brody Jenner was in that
Yeah,
one.
yeah. And then eventually it.
I never
switched over
watched
to the
it.
Hills. Right. I never watched it either.
Spencer.
That's the one.
Heidi
yeah.
and Spencer.
Yeah. So now the Valley, which is kind of their hilarious, like in-universe OC type show, has its own reality show TV, and they take shots of that. That's very funny. So he's going to watch all those, and that's adorable because, like, Seth Cohen, if he's going to watch something to commiserate on, it's going to be like comic book movie related or nerd stuff
This
related.
is just because he misses
But
summer.
this is for summer. And so the satellite isn't working, so he climbs up on the roof with a rope, and he's got on a Spider-Man mask because it's raining in the
It's the
Orange
only
County.
rain headgear that he has.
And he trips and falls and is hanging upside down when Summer comes in, and she pulls the mask down and kisses him. And the thing about that kiss, in both Spider-Man and in this, it doesn't look good. That's the thing. It's become this iconic thing, but...
It's weird to kiss someone upside down.
Especially
like that.
when it's raining and there's water getting in their nose.
Yeah. And you know what? I looked up this on the trivia,
What'd
on
you
this
look up?
episode trivia, and I told you that after this episode, Sam Raimi, director of Spider-Man, he was so excited and thought that it was so well done, he called director or creator Josh Schwartz to tell him how much he enjoyed that Spider-Man kiss.
It was really good. Like it
It
was
was funny.
really good. It was very funny.
It was a good throwback.
And so they kiss. Yeah, I mean, this is the big thing, right? Summer is at the airport about to leave for Italy, and she just can't do it. And I love how the show like telegraphs Summer's mood through Zach's family being just the fucking absolute worst.
Yeah, his family is awful. He needs to go and get some new people.
Yeah, they're not only they totally ignore Summer until they can want to embarrass her with some knowledge of something that she doesn't know.
Yeah.
I'm really excited that I finally get to meet your dad. He sounds really cool.
Oh, did Dad make reservations at the Uffizi?
Oh, he sure did. Can't wait to see the Botticelli.
The Birth of Venus is amazing in person.
Are you a fan of Botticelli?
Yes, I am. Although I prefer his earlier work. You know, the comedies. I'm gonna get a magazine. Would you like People, Us Weekly, In Touch? Anything?
Or I could take an Economist.
I could use a Xanax.
Okay.
And then, she to get away from them, she goes to buy a magazine. And on her way back, she sees a little curly-headed boy
playing with a horse on top of comic books. I mean, like, what are the odds? It was a figment of her imagination, and the show, it was just too much.
It's so ridiculous.
It was too much, show. It was too much.
She's just galloping the horse on top of the comic books. Why?
I mean, isn't that something you did, Scott, when you were waiting in the airport? It's okay. You can be real.
Oh my God. It's so funny, though. It just looks like a little version of Seth, too. And the funny thing is, actually, Rachel Bilson, great acting in this episode. Like,
she's good.
I've been critical of her in the past. She's really good. Like, when she says, "I can't" to him, that's some good stuff. And she doesn't even explain to him what's going on. She just looks at the kid playing with the horse on the comic books, and then Zach looks at the kid playing with the horse, and Zach's like, "Oh yeah, I get it." I love this stupid show.
It was ridiculous.
It's so good. So yeah, at the end of this episode, Summer and Seth are back together.
The world is in a better place.
Lindsay has left for Chicago. Ryan is sitting in the rain on the dock, and Marissa walks up to him to kind of see how he's doing, and she stays there and comforts him. Marissa, recognizing things are getting too serious and she's getting uncomfortable, running back to an old thing. That's not like her at all.
Marissa.
Kirsten and Sandy make up.
Yeah. Julie and Caleb.
Completely. Who knows?
We're gonna do relationship status. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Okay. But the point is, we end this episode with all of our characters in a kind of
fairly
good spot.
They're back to, we're getting status quo
It's
again.
taken 14 episodes. But we're getting
finally there.
The band back to. I hope nothing else dramatic happens for the next 8 episodes.
We shall see, Scott. We shall see.
All right, that is it for our Rosies and Thornies of the episode. All right, Elise, do you know what time it is?
I do. Scott, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's
Come
do it.
on, Scott. Tell me about the style in the OC. Hey, hey, hey. Come on, Scott. Tell me about the style in this episode. Yeah.
Elise, can I be honest with you? I was so enraptured by what the episode was doing.
Yeah.
I really wasn't paying attention to what anyone was wearing.
Except for one thing.
Well, okay, so the one photo I took here is Summer's bridesmaid's dress, because one of the things that we learn is that Summer is not only going with Zach to her sister's Italian wedding, but she is going to be a bridesmaid in the wedding, which is absurd because she barely knows the girl, and the girl clearly doesn't like her.
Well, and Summer even said she thought it was ridiculous. And what was Zach's response? I forget.
We'll put it in the episode because it's hilarious.
And also, don't you think it's a little much that I'm in your sister's wedding? I mean, after all, I've only met her like once.
No, I told you she doesn't have very many friends. She's very alienating and severe.
So it's a terrible bridesmaid's dress. Do they have like manufacturers that set about to make bad dresses? Like
they have bridesmaids dresses, like brands, and none of them are good.
So like, I'm trying to imagine what like the room is like, right? Where like you're having let's say you're having a design session and you've got like 2 or 3 designers sitting in a room, and you're like, all right, we got to make a dress. It's a bridesmaid's dress. What do we do? And are they like saying, yeah, frills. Yeah, that's fucking terrible. Yep. Like, are they are they consciously trying to make a bad looking dress? Or is this just a stereotype of, American media that bridesmaids dresses are all ugly as shit?
I mean, I think that they've gotten better a lot over the years. It's just also style wise. I mean, that was probably really good in the 80s.
The dress we're looking at right now.
Yeah.
It's like a yellow canary dress with like a vest. Look, I don't know how to describe it. Like it's frill all around the neck.
It's a collar.
Yeah, but it's like a deep, like it's not just like, it doesn't just go around. It's like, it goes down, like it's covering her boobies too.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's super bad.
It's not great. That's why I let everyone pick their own bridesmaid's dress.
So the jury is still out on whether or not bridesmaids dresses are intentionally bad or not, is what you're telling me.
I mean, I don't think they're intentionally bad. I just think if it's someone who's trying to get a dress that fits the same type of body type for all these different people, that they try and do things that can accentuate parts of the body to maybe draw attention and get people to not feel uncomfortable. And by doing so, it makes things not look as pretty.
I guess that's fair. The only other thing I want to talk about is that Spider-Man mask. It's a pretty good Spider-Man mask.
Yeah.
And I do think as part of recreating the scene, they do make Summer, she is not wearing, Mary Jane in the original Spider-Man is wearing like a pinkish dress, I believe. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up. Spider-Man kiss. Yeah, I was right. Look at me. Look at me go.
It is something pinkish.
She's wearing like a pinkish dress, and Summer is not wearing the same, but like she's got like a jacket thing on, but they tried to give her a similar looking dress. And I thought that the attention to detail in this scene is actually like super good. Like they actually spent a good time recreating the scene. It's just really good. This place, I'm looking up the OC, and the place that I found the picture of the OC one says the OC should have ended with the Spider-Man kiss.
That would have been a great series ending.
It would have.
Yeah.
But we got more to do.
Okay.
We got more
It
to
is.
do.
It's true.
So that's all I have for style this week. Nothing
okay.
nothing crazy.
There
Nothing
wasn't really
crazy.
anything very crazy in this one.
No. I only see the extravagance, you know. I normal clothes just look like my brain just says, normal. And I just move on.
It's okay. It's okay.
All right, let's move on to relationship status.
Okay, Scott, we're going to start with our couple, Sandy and Kirsten Cohen. Last week were really rocky at a 1 out of 10.
Yeah.
This week, the Cohen parents do not do well with relationship triangles, especially when Sandy doesn't realize he created one.
Yeah.
Kirsten is still upset, and despite Rebecca leaving last week, she calls Sandy because she couldn't leave without saying goodbye. Sandy goes to try and help Rebecca, but with the amount of rain, the road washes out and he can't get back to Kirsten. Rebecca lays it on heavy, trying to get Sandy to stray from his wife, but he stays strong. Sandy and Rebecca are done. He reassures Kirsten that nothing can be over between him and Rebecca because nothing ever started. They look like they are back on track, so we're going to bring them to an even 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
Middle of the road.
Good. I'm glad. You know what I've learned about romance and reconciling of relationships?
What?
It's always better in the rain, baby.
It is.
It's always better in the
so
rain.
much more emotional that way.
You got to get that rain in there. And Orange County, not rain that much. So they had to pack it all into one episode.
It's true.
All right, let's move on to Julie Cooper and Caleb Nickel.
All right, you fill me in, Scott.
Well, last week we gave them a 2 out of 10. And this week, their relationship is really not the focus of the episode. Julie and Caleb's relationship was not at the forefront of any of their separate screen times this week. Caleb follows through with the paternity test, which presumably means he is going to adopt Lindsay. I'm not clear where we're left with this.
Before he writes her into the will and everything, he wants to make sure it's a real...
Well, now we know. So she's going to be in the will, which will probably upset Julie Cooper and her evil maniacal plans to murder Caleb and steal all his money. So the two seem like they're growing more apart than they are together. Mm-hmm. So we're just going to leave them at a 2 out of 10. Okay. How's that?
Sounds good to me. Okay, Scott. Zach and Summer last week were at a 6 out of 10. Oof. Summer and Zach are going on their European vacation. Zach, the perfect boyfriend, buys Summer a converter for her hairdryer, carries all of her bags, all 9 of them, and seems excited that Summer is going to spend time with him and get to know his family. Summer keeps getting pulled towards Seth, and she finally tells Zach that she can't go to Europe and goes to find Seth. So we're going to move them down to a 0 out of 10 because Summer made her choice.
Rest in peace, Zach. We hardly knew you.
Rest in Italy,
and
Scott.
You were the perfect boyfriend till the end. He really was. And that's what made this choice so difficult for Summer. I do love the moment where she's having serious doubts and she's desperately trying to come up with excuses. And she's like, oh, well, I don't have the hairdryer extension or hairdryer converter. And he's just like, I already got it for you. And she's, of course you do. Because you're the perfect boyfriend. Yeah. And yet,
still,
it's over. All right, Ryan and Lindsay. Last week, we gave these two back and forth lovebirds a 4 out of 10. Ryan takes Lindsay to the paternity test and seems supportive of her relationship growing with Caleb. but really that is just so she will stay in the OC. Lindsay's mom has decided to move to Chicago, and Lindsay chooses her mom over her dad, who rejected her twice and made her take a paternity test before he would give her anything. So she heads to Chicago, and that's it. 0 out of 10. Off the board. Ryan and Lindsay are no more. Sad oboe plays. Lindsay out.
All right, Scott, we're
Can
going
you
to
do
move
an
on
oboe
to...
noise? Do an
no,
oboe
I don't
noise.
know an oboe noise.
Oboe.
That's just the word.
Oh.
That's just the word that you're singing.
Oh.
No. Okay, Scott, we're going to talk about Alex and Marissa, who last week were the couple of the week at a 7 out of 10. This week, Marissa tells her mom about her relationship with Alex. She packs a bag to move out of her house and in with Alex. Marissa's excited about leaving her mom, but reality hits her when there's a limited closet amount of space.
The most unbelievable line in the entire episode is Marissa saying, I'll just learn to live with less shoes.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
So that was one strike. Second strike was the trash bins that she's going to have to roll out. And then third strike, Scott, you've already mentioned it, but rent is due. So she's second guessing leaving her cush lifestyle and her relationship with Alex. You know what? She's going to have to make some decisions. So we're going to bump him down to a 5 out of 10.
All right, 5 out of 10.
And fill us in. We have one more couple, Scott.
Oh, guess who's back? Back again. Seth and Summer. Back on the board.
Tell a
Coming
friend.
in hot with the Spider-Man kiss. Coming in hot with the Spider-Man kiss. Yeah. I can't keep that up. Summer finally chooses Seth, and they make out, and they have no more problems for the rest of the show. Hooray.
That's not true. Where are we going to start him out, Scott?
We're going to start them out at a 3 out of 10 because while they are back together, I think,
everyone knows.
It's one thing to rush over to the love of your life's house and kiss him while he's hanging upside down from the roof. It's another to build a relationship out of that. And they're going to have some work ahead of them. But I'm optimistic. How about you?
I am too.
Great.
Because I love Seth and Summer.
Me too. Also,
All right.
you know what's going to happen.
Scott, next week's episode is called The Mall-pisode.
The Mall-pisode.
Yes. So what do you think?
What do I think? Well, I think if I'm writing this story, I think this is my first opportunity in 14 episodes to bring the Fab Four back together. So I think this is going to be a Seth, Ryan, Summer, and Marissa episode.
That takes place where?
In a mall.
Okay.
It's going to take place in a mall.
I could maybe see how you leapt to that. It's a far stretch, but we'll see.
I predict that we're going to see something is going to happen. Alex is going to either call or talk in person to Marissa about hanging out, and Marissa is going to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm busy," because she wants to go hang out with Ryan. That's my formal prediction.
We will see.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, that's all that we have time for this week. So if you like this podcast, you can go check out all the other shows that we do over at doofmedia.com. Scott, do we have any exciting shows coming up this week on Doof Media?
We have an episode
regulars?
We have an episode of the Doofcast talking about a BBC audio radio show called Cabin Pressure. You've been listening to me listen to that over the last few days.
Pretty funny.
So that's on this Friday. Other than that, it's just kind of business as usual in Doof Media. New chapters of Kingslingers. We're starting the next book 5 in Dark Tower. Pale Reflections is going on with their Pale coverage. Decomposing Worm is going on with their Worm coverage. And business as usual.
Well, if you also would like to usually support the podcast, you can consider donating to our Patreon over at patreon.com/doofmedia. Every time that you donate, it usually comes out monthly, depending upon your price level, you can get a variety of rewards, such as joining the Discord. You might get to, last week we said pick a book club book. What else can they do, Scott?
Oh my gosh. At the $10 level, they get access to at least monthly bonus podcasts.
That's what
Matt
it is.
And his brother do a show every month, but also I have recorded something that's coming out, which is a review of The Last of Us 2, the video game. Also, there's going to be at least one thing a month we're going to be doing bonus stuff. There's going to be a bonus episode where Matt and I watch the movie Stand By Me because my audience found out that he had never seen that movie before when we were talking about Kingslingers, and they lost their minds.
They're just not going to have it.
So I'm going to make him watch that, and we're going to do a
Okay.
bonus episode on it.
Well, that sounds good. And we understand that sometimes money is tight, and right now it could be tight for a variety of people for a variety of reasons. So if you can't give any money, if you would consider just, stopping over to Apple Podcasts and writing a review or rating us, we would appreciate that just as much, as long as you give us all 5 stars. And if you're not, then just give us your money.
All right, folks, we will see you next week for another episode. Have a good week, everyone. Think about your roses. Push past your thorns. Put those Band-Aids on if they poke you. And
have a good week.
What?
And have a good week.
I said that already.
Yeah. Bye.
Rude.